Hello everyone, and welcome to my chatty, sassy channel here on YouTube. As you can tell by this beautiful bag and the thumbnail and the title, today I'm going to be talking all about my 1 month use review of my Birkin 30 and showing you guys what fits, talking about my thoughts, things that I wish I knew, things that have surprised me, and getting into all of that when it comes to this bag today. So when it comes to the Birkin 30, this bag has been on my wish list for a while, and I'm so glad that I was able to get this bag. It was in my perfect color, perfect leather, perfect hardware, perfect size, and I knew that this was the bag that I wanted. I had no idea what I would actually think using the bag, because obviously you can't know if you're going to like using a bag or not until you actually have it and you actually get to use it. And I will say I have absolutely loved using this bag. There are some things that I've discovered about it since using it that I don't think I was necessarily fully prepared for, but I've been so impressed with it. The first time that I went out with it, I took it to the grocery store. It's been to restaurants, it's been to doctor's appointments, it's been to the grocery store a few times actually, and I have used this bag several times. I am thrilled to have this bag, so happy to have this bag, and really excited to get into it with you guys today. So it is currently packed because I've just gotten home from a doctor's appointment, and so I'm just going to show you guys everything that's in it, and then I'm going to talk about my pros and cons with regards to using this bag once I show you guys what all is in it. Now, I do typically close the bag, but the past couple times I've used it, I have actually had it open, and I've definitely enjoyed using it much more when I've kept it open. But to me, this bag is pretty well at full capacity with everything that I have in here, and I'm going to try to show you without dropping the bag. But there is a lot of stuff in this bag, and then I am using a Zoomoni silky, the thin silky organizer, and I do have a 20% off code if you want to use my code, and the link in the description. It is an affiliate, so I will get a very small percentage if you happen to buy anything from Zoomoni, but at least you're getting 20% off. So here's what all I have in here. My Smyson portfolio, and so this is pretty big and bulky. My Louis Vuitton PM cosmetic pouch. I brought like some chargers and some electronic stuff with me in case at my doctor's appointment today they said, you need to go ahead and go to the hospital. I wanted to have some of these electronics handy. That way I had them, and then I also have my bag packed as well. But that's a big duffel, so that's a different thing. I have in here my little diabetic med kit, my card holder, my phone, my Bastia, my Calvi, and then inside the pocket of the organizers, because I have the notebook that was in the back. I didn't use the back pockets of the organizer at all, but I did put inside the organizer. You can sort of see I did use 3 of the pockets. So in the round pocket, I had a couple of food snacks. In one of the flat pockets, sunglasses. And then in the other front flat pocket, I had keys and a pocket knife. And that's basically everything that I put in this bag. And this bag was definitely very full in my opinion, because it is a crook of arm carry bag. You have to be mindful of the weight that you're putting in, and it was definitely at its heaviest today. I normally probably would not have had this pouch in there, and that would have helped with weight a lot. Or maybe if I had the pouch, I wouldn't have had this notebook, or maybe I would have taken out the notebook and the pouch and just had like a book in here. most of the time I've honestly carried it pretty empty, and I've just had like a snack, my phone, card holder, Bastia, keys. Like it's been very empty most of the time that I've used it. It's definitely got way more capacity in it than what I need on the daily. But to me, that's worth it, so that when I need to take it to things like appointments, to meetings, I have the flexibility to do that without having to carry a massive giant tote bag with me. And I did get the organizer. This was not gifted to me. I paid for it with my own money, but I did get this organizer just to help protect the interior, not because I necessarily like to use organizers, but just because I want to keep the interior from being scratched. Because while I don't really care about resale value on this bag, because I have no intention of ever selling this bag, I do want to take care of this bag. And so I'll only put this in whenever I'm going to use it, because I don't want to risk stretching the shape. But whenever I'm going to use it, I will use the organizer in order to keep the interior nice and protected. But the past couple of times that I've carried it open like this. So with the flap part in the back, and then just open with the sangles, because it's so much easier to reach into. The one thing that I don't think I was prepared for, and this is something that will obviously loosen up over time as I use the leather, is how stiff that the leather was. So when I would go to do up the bag using it, you kind of have to pull on the leather a little bit when it's brand new in order to get this in the right placement, as you can see me doing now. And I know that that'll loosen up over time, but that's still just kind of annoying to have to do. And then whenever I go to put the little sangles in the little holder, again, you've got to kind of pull it to get it over the lock, so that you can actually close the lock. And again, that's because it's new, so the leather's still a little bit stiff, but that's just kind of annoying to have to do all the time. So I definitely get why people don't typically lock their Birkins. You really kind of have to on the Kelly a bit, because of the shoulder strap. But definitely with this Birkin, I think that you need to carry it with the intention of carrying it open. And if you are not comfortable carrying it open, you've really got to be sure that you want to fiddle with that. Because when you're going in and out of stores, I was perfectly fine going in and out of stores with this, but when I went to pay, it was kind of annoying. Or like if I needed to grab my phone, it was a little bit annoying to have to undo it and then have to pull it in order to get it into the right spot. And again, it's gonna loosen up over time. I know that mentally, but it's annoying enough that I'm like, I'll just carry the bag open. Because honestly, wherever I'm going to be going with this bag, I'm never going to be going into a situation where I need to be that concerned about safety. Because if it's that type of situation, I'm not going to be carrying the Birkin anyway. One of the things that has really surprised me, honestly, is how comfortable that I am carrying this bag. I have carried it to multiple different situations. I feel very comfortable having it. The 30 size, because it fits on my arm, I don't feel like it's in the way of anything. I'm not worried about bumping anything with the bag because it's able to be close enough to my body. But it's also not overly heavy. And I knew from trying on 35 that while the 35 was okay size-wise for me, it was going to be just too bulky of a bag for me to have around. So I knew that I didn't want a 35 because I would be concerned about bumping that bag. Also, it's heavy on its own without anything in it. This bag is still pretty light without having anything in it. I knew that I didn't want the 25 size because I couldn't put it on my arm. I'd have to hand carry it, and therefore I couldn't keep it as close to my body as I can with this bag. So I definitely think that the 30 was the best size for me to go with. Even though I don't need the capacity of the 30 most of the time, it's nice to have that flexibility. And honestly, most importantly, nice to be able to put it on my arm. That is super, super important to me. This is my bag for 30 years of my life. This bag is not going anywhere, is never leaving my collection. And so because of that, I think that going into it with that mentality, waiting to get the exact specs that I wanted, is why I'm able to be comfortable using it. It's why I'm fine carrying it at the grocery store. It's why I'm fine carrying it into different shops. It's why I was fine walking around with it at a market, because if something happens and it gets a scratch, one, it's leather, it's going to buff out most likely. Two, there's always the Hermes spa if I need to send it to the spa. And three, if it gets a scratch, it's not going to impact resale value because it's never going to be resold. Unless something tragic happens and I have to sell bags and get a bunch of money really quick, this bag's never getting sold. And so because of that, resale value doesn't actually matter. One of the other things that I've noticed though carrying this bag, it is definitely a far superior craftsmanship to any of my other bags. My other bags cannot compare in leather quality. They cannot compare in craftsmanship. When I unboxed this, I said this would probably be my only quota bag. And honestly, if it weren't for the price, this would not be my only quota bag. So unless I were to get something like a special order opportunity, I don't think that I'll be buying anymore because they are so expensive, painfully expensive. But I have absolutely loved this. And so for me, even recognizing the absolutely insanity that is the price of this bag, I think that getting this bag to me was worth it. And over time, this bag's cost per wear will go down because this bag is such amazing quality. I will be able to use it for such a long time that the cost per wear will become somewhat reasonable eventually. I wish that I could say that I regret spending this much money on a bag and I'm going to let it go and I'm going to move it on and I'm going to make a massive profit. I wish I could say that. But the reality is I love this bag and I love this bag so much that any thought of ever selling it is non-existent. This bag is never going anywhere. I absolutely love it. And I'm so happy to have it. And so for me, even though it's an insane amount of money, for me, it was 100% worth the money to get this bag, to own this bag, and get to use this bag because I absolutely 100% love it. And so I hope that you have enjoyed seeing what all fit in the bag and hearing my thoughts on it. This isn't a particularly long video because honestly, the only con of this bag is the price and the fact that it's annoying to do up. Because I've started carrying it open, that annoyance is gone. And so the only thing that is annoying is the price, but it was something that, because I had saved up and been preparing for whenever I would hopefully get an offer for several years, those funds were already there and set aside. So I was able to buy that bag without touching any of my regular funds. But I definitely understand why people get multiple of these bags now because they are absolutely wonderful and amazing. And I'm so grateful to have this bag. And if you're considering getting one, if you can afford to get one and if you have the funds to get one, it's a fantastic decision and I don't think that you'll regret it. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye!